Yo, for whatever reason I'm going to do a video on a ecotec 2.2 water pump. If you can get under the car and locate the water pump, you will see there's a drip right there, and there's a weep hole, this square hole. There's one on the top too, but this square hole, if you stick your finger in the hole, you'll see some stuff coming out of it. It's bad. First thing I'm going to do is locate the drain hole. As you can see, it's that little plug right there. Right there. I'm going to get in there. I got a really long extension on a 1/4-inch drive and a swivel socket. You just turn it counterclockwise just a little bit, and I think this pulls right out. Here's what your plug looks like. It only turns about a 1/4 turn, and then you got to pull it straight out. You got to make sure this O-ring is in good shape when you go put it back in too. I took the passenger side tire off because there's a black cover here I'm going to take off that's going to be in my way. These are 7mm. There's a little clip here which isn't attached. There's another 7mm under here. There should be two, but one's missing. There's some clips under here. There's a drain plug on the bottom of the water pump. I got a 13mm on a wobble extension. You're gonna need a big drain pan for this. I have 3 13mm bolts on this heat shield I gotta take off. That one's broken, so I didn't have to take it off, thankfully. It could be rusted on anyways because it's on the exhaust manifold. There's a block heater here I gotta take off on this. There's a 10mm height in back here. Can't really see it. But I got an extension and a deep well on it. Funky. Most of them are in coolant. This one actually heats the block. Next up, 2 10mm bolts on this coolant housing under your intake manifold or exhaust manifold. Now that I got everything drained, getting this thing out of here shouldn't be too big of a mess. Just need to pop it like that. I should be able to turn this. I turned it so it's out of the way. It's pointing down now. And then I should be able to pop it out and get it out this way. And I got a thermostat in here too. I'm gonna replace. There's a piece of plastic in here you take out. And this was facing up. Basically it goes in this way, and you just got to turn it until it's straight across flush with the housing. And then I can pop this thermostat out because I'll be replacing that too. So from up under the wheel well area, there's a cover plate I need to take off. There's 4 bolts on it. They're 10mm. I got this tool here that's made for this. There's holes in the sprocket for it. They don't really need to be tight. And you want to take 2 of your cover screws and find a couple holes for those. I almost forgot. It's probably a good idea to put a rag in here, because if these bolts fall down in here, you're screwed. So I'm just gonna stuff a rag in here so if they do manage to fall, they'll hopefully hit that rag, and then I can just pull them out with a magnet. Well, these you can get tight. That's what your unit looks like when it's in there. You got that one hole on the top that's in between them two screws that gives you access to one of the bolts. So there's 3 bolts holding this pulley on. There's your 3 bolts you got to get at to get this thing out of here. Try to give you a good visual of that. Now I got my rag tucked in here real good. I'm going to oh so carefully try to get all these screws out. Without letting them fall in the block. I got a couple of 13mm bolts on the front that I got to take off. This is a water pump bolt right here. There's another one up here somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I think the other one is this one right here. Yeah, that one's a little easier getting at from the top. I got 2 more 13mm on here. That one here and this one down here. I'm pretty sure that's all the bolts. I haven't done one of these in a while, so forgive me if my memory doesn't serve me right. I'm just going to try to give this a pop. See if it's loose. And it's loose. Yes. Yes, it's loose. Get this thing out of here. You shouldn't need to do much here, but just wipe everything down real good. If you think it's too crusty, you can hit everything with a razor blade. It looks really good. It's going to seal just like that. Here's the new pump. Just got to put this seal on here. I could put a little bead of Permatex around here, but I'm not going to. I've never needed to with these. They seal really nice, dry. Just make sure it's pushed all the way in to the groove. Out with the old, in with the new. I actually ended up taking the pump out a few times. I just kept moving it around until I got it really close. I'm going to try to get in here with a stubby #2 Phillips and just try to line that hole up. Just to get it all the way square. And I think I got them. I got a little bendy flexi magnet. I'm going to try to get them in the hole that way. Be real careful. Try to get that started. If you could actually get a torque wrench in here, an inch-pound wrench, just as a guess, I would say they would probably have to be about 8 foot-pounds maybe. I'm going to get my rag out of here now. I'm not going to tighten these all the way up yet either. I'm just going to get them snug. I got to get these bolts tight now. I got those 4 13mm bolts tight. I can go ahead and get these nice and tight. I'm going to get them snug first, go around in a big circle and make sure they're all square. I can go ahead and take my tool off. I'm stuffing a rag bag in here again because I don't want anything stupid to happen. I'm not going to get a new cover plate for this thing. There might be a gasket you can buy for it too, but I'm not going to do that either. Why waste the dough? I already scraped, you know, some of this black was stuck to the aluminum on the block, so I scraped that off. I'm just going to put some brake cleaner on a rag. Oops. And I'm just going to wipe this down just to make sure there's no residual goo on it. I'm going to put a really super fine bead of ultra gray on here. You don't need a lot. I didn't even put an 1/8 of an inch bead on here. I'm just going to run it around with my finger. It's just a very light film. That's all you need on there. Make sure I didn't leave a rag in there. This water pump came with a new O-ring for this, so I'm going to put it on. I probably don't need to. These don't really go bad. Make sure it's nice and square and it's not twisted. It's a good idea to put a little silicone paste on this. Dielectric grease, same stuff. Just put a little on this O-ring so it goes on real nice. It'll slide right on like magic. Sometimes I use gear oil for O-rings too. I put a little silicone paste on this Thermostat Seal. I could put paste on this O-ring too. I'm reusing it. It seems good enough. I'm going to let it rock and roll. I'm going to put it in so it's this way. And then this thing, the hole should be facing up, I think. Okay, maybe not. I'm going to turn it until it's square. There, I think I got it. There I go, I'm hoping for the best with the crazy junk. I'm getting it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, lock. Okay, it's in. Since I can't even see what I'm doing, I am very tempted to just not put this back on. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what the hell. What the hell? What the hell? If you have a block heater, all I can say is have fun getting that one back on. Fill it up with coolant and call it a job. Okay, bye.